This is Joey Brown, and this is Hollywood, a city devoted to the entertainment of the world, a city of specialists, some dealing in comedy, some in drama, some in song and dance. Just now, I'm going to talk about comedy. What else? Here's a trio: Charlie Murray, Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle, and Sessue Hayakawa, who handled that job very successfully some 30 years ago. Comedy techniques may have been less sophisticated then, but they sent theater-goers home with a very pleasant laughter mat. Charlie Chaplin, artfully mixing equal portions of pathos and slapstick, became one of the greatest comics of them all. Generating laughs for movie fans was strenuous business way back yonder in the time of World War I, when Chester Conklin, ex-circus clown and vaudevillian, was starring in the never-to-be-forgotten Keystone comedies. Strenuous, did I say? That's putting it mildly. In those days of the movie industry's adolescence, comics like Clyde Cook learned to regard bruises and broken bones as part of the daily routine. Neither were the early day stars concerned about subtleties when the director said emote. Here you see Zazu Pitts running the well-known gamut. Remember the late Charlie Chase, specialist in debonair man-about-town comedy? He's dead now, but he left his fans a priceless legacy of laughs. If laughter is a medicine able to cure the troubles of mankind, this rib-tickling pair, Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy, should be entitled to recognition as super-efficient doctors. And here's another master physician, the late W.C. Fields. His comedy was a tonic for a laugh-hungry world. Screen comedy has its style trends, too. And Jack Oakley's favorite screen role, the glib, self-important wisecracker whose excellent intentions always managed to land him in hot water, created a new comedy trend in the early days of motion pictures. Who's this stranger trying to crash the studio gates? You've never seen him before, have you? And neither, evidently, has the gatekeeper. But wait, he claims he's a movie star and says he can prove it. Well, of all people, Andy Clyde. Amazing what a little spinach will do, isn't it? One of the best-loved comedians in all screen history was Louise Fazenda, whom our cameraman caught on this long-ago day as she tried to red apple her director, Earl Kenton. Ben Turpin's entrance in a movie scene was a signal for a tempest of action. And the tempest usually resulted in a gale of laughs for Mr. and Mrs. America. Remember this physical culture addict? You should, for his infectious comedy, seasoned scores of your favorite pictures some years ago. He's L. Brindell, famous for his Swedish dialect roles. One of the greatest exponents of the deadpan style of comedy was Charlie Butterworth. The alluringly plump lady was Zazu Pitts, and this old-time comedy was Trixie Fraganza. Well, here I am in one of my early comedies. Offhand, I don't remember the name of my little playmate in this scene, but as America's #1 football fan, I considered him a good gridiron prospect. Jimmy Durante. Jimmy contends he might have been a giant, too, if so much of his bulk hadn't gone to nose. Alan Mowbray, the hypocrite, said he was too busy to be photographed. That's a laugh. But what else can you expect? Laughs are Alan Mowbray's specialty. Just as laughs are the specialty of Harpo, Chico, and Groucho Marx. Seen here was Sid Grauman in the famous forecourt of Grauman's Chinese Theater when the comedy clan gathered to be footprinted. Speaking of brother acts that have made you laugh, here are the Ritz brothers, Al, Harry, and Jimmy, and their father. Here you have a clash of interests. Martha Ray, hungry for food, and Park Your Carcass, trying to give her food for thought. The net result, of course, was food for fun. Misha Auer. When you recall Misha's screen roles, you're remembering some of the most hilarious comedy performances in movie history. Hidden behind this somber-hued sports jacket and almost overcome by innate bashfulness is Ken Murray. With him are the Brewster twins. Here I am with Georgie Stone, Georgie Burns, and Gracie Allen. One thing is virtually sure to happen. Gracie will have the last word. Want to buy a duck? The late Joe Penner, plaintively asking that absurd question from the stage and the screen, had American stitches for years. Not many fans wanted to buy ducks, but they were all glad to buy his brand of comedy. Screen comedy has never been limited to any one type of picture. Here, for instance, is Smiley Burnett, who's won a tremendous fan following while adding chuckles to cowboy epics. Meet Professor Kay Kaiser of the College of Fun and Knowledge. Kay has enrolled as pupils a large percentage of America's movie and radio fans. He may not give them diplomas, but he gives them laughs. Critics who consider the mile-a-minute slapstick type of comedy passé had to do an abrupt right-about-face when Bud Abbott and Lou Costello skyrocketed top-flight stardom. If you haven't incurred a heavy obligation for laughs delivered by Jack Benny and Mary Livingston, send your name to Fred Allen. He'd like to meet you. Whenever and wherever zany screwball comedy is discussed, the names of Olsen and Johnson are sure to pop up. You see them here plotting one of their last pictures with Lloyd Bacon, their director. The three stellar members of this quartet are Billy Gilbert, Joan Davis, and Milton Berle. They've had millions of theatergoers joining for years in a chorus of laughs. Milton Berle, who gads about eating hot dogs with lovelies like Ann Miller and cavorting on beaches with the Andrews sisters, is again making movies in Hollywood after taking a few years off to conquer television and the Broadway stage. If I understand the plot of this little episode correctly, Jerry Colonna plans to attend a convention of mustache cup manufacturers. His old pal Bob Hope wants to go too, but first, subterfuge must be employed. Ah, what guile. Speaking of Bob Hope, look where we found his sidekick, Bing Crosby, when we looked through our files. Believe me, folks, Hollywood does make the world laugh.
Good day, Miss Barbara. I must say you look right pert today.
Well, you're quite a dim dandy yourself, Ken Murray.
Jiminy Crickets. Have to look a little sporty if we're going to Milton Berle's Keystone Party. They say it's going to be a wang doodle.
I'll bet it is. I just can't wait to get there.
Well, what's detaining us? Let's go.
Wait a minute. Barbara can't go unless I go, too.
Well, that suits me to a T. Folks, these are the Brewster twins. This is Gloria, and this is Barbara. No, this is Barbara, and this is,
No, I'm Barbara. And I'm Gloria.
Well, it's Jabibble. That's me, double or nothing.
Well, what are we waiting for, Mr. Murray? Escort us to your chariot.
Right this way. And remember, no backseat driving. Ups to daisy. You don't mind riding in the rumble seat, do you? Here we go.
23, skidoo. Oh, look.
Oh, the show is already on.
But who is that?
Quiet, Barbara.
I'm Gloria.
Oh, sure, you're Gloria. That's easy to remember. There's the Andrews sisters singing Apple Blossom Time, accompanied on the clarinet by our host, Milton Berle. Oh, shucks, why didn't Milton tell me he was going to dress formal? those newfangled bathing suits that Milton is wearing. First time I've ever seen a four-way stretch. Some creation, huh, Gloria?
I'm Barbara.
Oh, of course you're Barbara, yeah. I can tell that just as plain as, or can I? That was elegant. Milton Berle, Brenda Joyce, Cesar Romero, George Montgomery, and Laird Krieger. Laird looks like the man who came to dinner and stayed and stayed and stayed. And here's the host with John Sheldon and Lupe Valet, the volcano with legs. Milton and Patty McCarty. Patty's as pretty as a picture, and she has a beautiful frame for it, too. And here we see Ann Miller with, what, again? Looks like there's more Burles than Brewsters.
Oh, look. Errol Flynn.
Hey, wait a minute. Yes, that's the dashing swashbuckler himself. But he's well taken care of by Milton Berle's mother. Say, they've grown up quite a bit. It's Junior Conklin, Benita Granville, and Jackie Cooper. Why, I knew Jackie when he didn't have a mustache cupped to his name. Burle, Joan Davis, and hubby Cy Wills make a graceful entrance. Marjorie Weaver. Not bad. I love my wife, but oh, you Marjorie. And there's Cabina. Don't ask me where Brenda is, because this is the real McCoy. Cabina Wright Jr. with Robert Stack. Billy Gilbert, Laird Krieger, Joan Davis, and Milton Berle will now sing. I don't know why.
Sweet Adeline, sweet Adeline,
Will you follow me, please?
at night you heard, are you a pair? In all my dreams, your fair face beams, you're the flower of my heart. Sweet
We're all through.
I have that left over. I want to get rid of it. And there's Tom Brown. Tom expects to get a job as a lifeguard in an empty swimming pool. And this young lady is Kay Harris, otherwise known as Tilly the Toiler. Better watch it, Tilly, or you'll have to do a little toiling on your waistline. Virginia O'Brien and Bill Orr. They liked this show so much they want it held over for a second week. Why, it's Simone making goo-goo eyes at Eddie, Norris. A married couple for a change. Lynn Barry with her husband, Walter Kane.
Say, Ken, are the Andrews sisters going to sing any more?
I don't know, but there's a great entertainer stepping up in front of Dave Forrester's band. Look, you know who that is?
Ella Logan. When whippoorwills go and the evening is nigh, I'll hurry to my blue heaven. I turn to the right, and the little white light will lead you to my blue heaven. You'll find a fireplace and a smiling face and a cozy room. A little nest that nestles where the roses bloom. I'm happy, so happy, in my blue heaven.
Gee, wasn't that grand, Gloria?
Ken, I'm Barbara.
Oh, of course you're Barbara. This must be Gloria, then.
No, I'm Barbara. She's Gloria.
Oh, she's Gloria. Well,
I'm Gloria.
Yeah.
I'm Gloria, Ken. That has to be Barbara.
Yeah, well, there's something
I'm
wrong.
Gloria.
Now, wait a
I'm
minute.
Gloria.
Girls.
I'm Gloria.
Yeah, but
You're Barbara.
You're Gloria.
I'm Gloria. You're Barbara.
Girls, look.
I couldn't see
Girls,
Barbara
there
if
must
I
be
am
some way of settling this.
You said it. We'll go right home to Mother and settle it right now. And we'll go together.
Well, I'm still Milton Berle, ain't I? Joan Davis is getting ready to take a few lessons in the art of pie throwing from Buster Keaton. Here's some ammunition. Boy, this is fun. Buster and Joan are now going to practice on Billy Gilbert, who is a pioneer. Pie in ear. Get it? Well, I guess that's about all, folks. Was that a wang-doodle of a party? I bet you thought I was going to get hit with one of those pies. Not me. I'm too fast.